Hey, how y'all doing? This is Lieutenant John Day, retired from the New Jersey State Police. Hey, it's Black History Month, y'all. It's Black History Month. Well, I'm black 365, 7 days a week. But being that, my frat brother Carter G. Woodson and his other frat brothers started Black History Month in February. Started off with Black History Week. And then it turned into Black History Month. And as I said before, they chose February because that's the birth month of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. And that's why they chose the month of February. So the government didn't give us that month. Brother Carter G. Woodson and the frat brothers of Omega Psi Phi chose February because of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln's birth month. And I was just pondering on Black History Month, and I wanted to speak on it. And first of all, my black heroes was my grandmother and grandfather who gained guardianship of my brother and I after a tragic incident in my life. After my mother's passing, my grandmother and grandfather, brought my brother and I back to Trenton. And so I started reflecting on the strong black teachers I had at Jefferson School. And here we go. I want to go back to the beginning of my educational years. Jefferson School with the leadership of Sam Scribbins. Y'all remember the saying when we were little kids, guess who died? 2 French fries, guess who lived in Big Lick Scribbins? And but Mr. Scribbins didn't play. I was acting up. And Mr. Scribbins, he had his office was orange. And he had black African masks all in his office and black sculptures and black paintings in his office. And he grabbed me by my head. Didn't I tell you? Grab me, just straighten me out, get on the straight and narrow. And I appreciate that. When I was a kid, you was a kid, you 6, 7 years old, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you cutting up, doing shit. Y'all know how we were. And Scribbins got a hold of me, boy. He straightened me up. And then we had the vice principal named Mr. Wally. And y'all remember we used to call him One Eye Wally, because when we were in the cafeteria to get our attention, he used to blow the whistle and close one eye. So we called him One Eye Wally. And those, having strong men like that, now, I look back and ponder on it. We needed strong men figures like that. And we also had strong women like Mrs. Copeland. Mrs. Copeland was my 3rd grade teacher. She ain't play. She had a pointer stick, and she used that pointer stick more than just to show us reading, writing, and arithmetic. If you was cutting up, she used that pointer stick on your ass. I know one time we had a substitute teacher, we were cutting up. You know how it is when you have a sub. And this, unbeknownst to us, the sub wrote a letter about us cutting up, and Miss Copeland started reading it. Mrs. Copeland, on this day, your class was, Miss Copeland said, I'm not even reading anymore. And she lined the whole class up. And y'all remember the classroom, you go on one end and come out the other end. And she had all of us lined up. And she used that pointer stick on everybody. People were so scared they was cutting the line to get it over with. Mrs. Copeland, but she was a strong teacher. She wanted us to get our lessons. She wanted us to be educated. And like I said, she was my 3rd grade teacher, and then she graduated from Grambling State University, the school that I graduated from. But as a 3rd grader, you didn't know none of your teachers' educational background. But come to find out that Miss Copeland, who was from Louisiana, and Dr. Copeland, who was from Trenton, both graduated. Dr. Copeland was at Trenton High at the time. He was the principal. He also was a Grambling alumnus. And those teachers, I appreciate them. Miss Copeland, I salute you. And I'm showing you much gratitude for all the ass whippings you gave me, and how you emphasize education, you emphasize structure, and I appreciate you. And then y'all remember Miss Patton. Miss Patton was my teacher in the 4th grade, and Miss Patton also went to a HBCU. She went to Mississippi Valley State, which is of course, is in Mississippi, but I played football against Mississippi Valley State. And I didn't know that Miss Patton, my 4th grade teacher, graduated from Mississippi Valley State, another HBCU. And she's another one. I'm acting up again. And Miss Patton's like, John, I want you to meet me. Come with me in the coat room. And Miss Patton had like 4 or 5 rulers, 12-inch rulers, and she whipped my ass. You know, she loved me. She treated me like I was her son. And I never forget coming out that coat room, the whole class looking at me, and I looked at them, and I sat back in my chair, folded my arms, and put my head in my arms, crying out of embarrassment, because it really didn't hurt, but she still, disciplined me, and because she loved me, and she cared about me. It wasn't out of her picking on me. She loved me, and I appreciate her. Years later, when I became a state trooper, when she was the principal at George Kimber on Stuyvesant, she had me come back and talk to her students. And I had my uniform on, and I talked to the children, and they appreciate me. And she told them I was her former student, because I didn't forget about her, and she didn't forget about me. And that was my way of giving back to the community. And y'all also remember Jefferson School Miss Lindsay. Little short Miss Lindsay. She used to try to teach the class, and she used to try to get her dentures together, fumbling her dentures around in her mouth. She was another one with that dangerous pointed stick that showed mad love and wanted to emphasize education. And then we had Miss Thomas. Miss Thomas, light-skinned lady with the green eyes. And she was another strong sister that emphasized education and reading books, and it was a strong institution, Jefferson School. And then we had the strong men. We had another strong brother, Mr. Jackson. We had Mr. Jackson, who I think he taught science. Mr. Jackson, 5th grade. That's when you started changing classes. He was a strong brother. They right there on Sanford Street. I lived on Ingham Avenue. He lived on Sanford Street back in the day. And then we had the notorious, y'all remember, we had the notorious Mr. Charles Hill. Mr. Hill had them marshmallow platform shoes he used to tiptoe around. And if he catch you cutting up, Mr. Hill would get you. And I never get this kid named Kenny. Kenny was in our class, and Mr. Hill caught him cheating on the spelling test. And he got him right in front of the whole class. And Mr. Hill was notorious, like, to keep you in line if you kept cutting up. He wasn't like Miss Patton to take you in the coat room. Mr. Hill would tell you to put your hands on the chalk eraser, that little holding thing. Put your hands on that and tuck your elbows in. And he take the bottom of that, the chairs we had with the swivel bottom part on the back. And it was over for the men. I ain't never see him hit a girl, but for the boys in the class, it was over. Tim Martinez, Mine Johnson, Big Dirt, Kenny, DJ Swell, back then was Lenny, and Kendall Dean. Like, we had the class. It was like we had a majority of the knucklehead boys, and Mr. Hill, he kept us in line. But I just want to say thank you to these black heroes, these teachers that cared, the teachers that gave us structure. It wasn't no walking to the next class. It wasn't no playing around at Jefferson School. We was in a straight line. And Derek, I think Derek Williams was in there, and Thurston Ganty, and a couple of other brothers that, we all went to Jefferson School together. And I just was thinking about, how that pyramid to success, and it started in North Trenton on Southern and Brunswick Avenue. And none of us made it where we are alone. We had pioneers, and I just was thinking about Black History Month, and I just thinking about these heroes, Sam Scribbins and One Eye Wally, Miss Copeland, and other teachers that I talked about, and Miss Ramsey. She was a math teacher, Miss Ramsey, and this good people. The librarian, I can't think of her name. The librarian. When y'all see this, please, let me know the librarian name. And so I just, y'all, think about it and ponder on teachers that had a great, serious impact in your life. And I'm starting with Jefferson School, my elementary school. And the next time I'm gonna talk about Junior 1. And, great leaders there, Albert Williams and Mr. Player. But we're going to talk about that the next time. But I just want to give homage and salute the teachers that was at Jefferson School that helped me and impacted me seriously. And I just want y'all to do the same thing. And think in any city that you are. I'm talking about Trenton. But anybody watching this video, you just ponder on your elementary school teachers that had a serious impact, that helped mold you in the beginning to help you to become who you are today. And talk to your kids about it and tell them about, the strong, powerful teachers that had a serious impact. And some of those teachers no longer with us. Some of them are still with us. Mr. Scribbins, he also was a frat brother of mine, even though he went to Trenton State College. He still was a frat brother, and he used to come to my cookouts. I used to go to his cookouts, so we broke bread and drank beers together. And he was my elementary school principal. So if you do the right things, life is a full circle of life. And they continue to be your mentors, and they continue to be proud of you. And I just want to salute those strong Black teachers, male and females, that had a serious impact on my life. And I just want to salute, because that's the saying said, we don't care how much you know, we want to know how much you care. And that's how you get respect. You can have all the knowledge in the world. We don't care about that. We want to know the people that got knowledge care about their communities and their children. And that's what those heroes did for me. And I'm sure many other people that went to Jefferson School and other elementary schools in our inner cities throughout this country. And hey, it's Black History Month, y'all. Let's ponder on that. And we Black History 365. But I just want to salute Jefferson School, who started it, class of 1976. Jefferson School, baby. Love y'all and the students that's still here. I love y'all and the classmates that passed on. You still in our memories. You may pass on, but as long as you have memories of people, just like the teachers, of some of our teachers, Mr. Scribbins done passed on, and a couple other teachers done passed on, but they still in my heart, and they will never die. So I just want to ponder on that for Black History Month. I hope y'all do the same. Stay blessed, and peace.